Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you're all doing well. So I said in the last video I was going to go out this week and check out CEX and see if I could find anything, which I did. I went out yesterday, had a look, and I managed to snag 10 games in total. Got one from Cash Generators and the further 9 from CEX, so it worked out quite well. Now if you watched the last video, you know that I got a brilliant bundle from Facebook, and I took out 4 games, showed them in the video. The rest of the games, I got 27 in total out of the bundle. Took the rest to CEX, got some credit from myself, and I used that credit yesterday to buy these games. So essentially free, sort of, which is nice. So yeah, I did really well. Got 4 Xbox games, I got 3 PS2, and I also got 3 PS3 games as well. Because I figured PS3 games were a little bit more expensive, so I might as well use the credit up and get the ones I want while I can. So it worked out quite well. And I also stopped myself doing a collector thing yesterday, which was fantastic. Normally, you know, if you know me, you watch me for a while, which most of you have, I've got that collector brain and I do dumb shit. And yesterday was one of those moments. I was in CEX yesterday. They had, I don't know, maybe 10, 15 copies of The Last of Us. They had absolutely stacks. Literally, they were like stacked behind each other, there's tons of them. Now the copy I've got back there, I got from a different CEX months ago. And that copy, did I get it from CEX? Yeah, I think I did get it from CEX. It wasn't in the bundle I bought. So I got it from CEX, and it's, when I got it home, I didn't, for some reason, didn't notice it, didn't look. Just picked it up, thought nice condition, manual, that'll do. It's got that not for resale on the back, or not to be sold separately, I think it is printed on the back. It's not a sticker or anything. So it came as a bundle with a PS3 bundle at some point. And you see a lot of these in CEX. And so yesterday I looked at it and I thought, I've got all this credit, I've got a load of games I want. Shall I just pick up another copy of The Last of Us, a correct retail copy? It was £4 out of my credit for this game. And then all I'll do is I'll take that home and trade in the one that's got not to be sold separately. And I was that close, I was right close, literally standing waiting to be served. And I thought, what are you doing? It really doesn't matter. It's so irrelevant. It's like, can you play the game? Yes. Do you need to go home, change the games over, bring it back and get a little bit of credit, which is not really going to make much of a difference to your credit line, because if they're selling it for £4, they'll probably give you a quid credit. I don't know, I'd have to check, but I would assume it would be a lot. It never usually is. It ain't worth the hassle. So I did a good thing, and for the first time in my life, I turned around and put it back on the shelf and saved myself that £4 credit. So I've now got extra credit in my account. So next time I'm out of the CEX, I've got even more options for games on the Xbox and PS2 and PS3 that I want. Although the amount of credit I've got left now will probably be more Xbox and PS2. So yay for me, I did something good for once. Makes a change. Alright, so before we crack on, first of all, just want to tell you guys, if you're subscribed to my channel, or you're just watching me the first time and you watch some more videos and decide to subscribe, please remember to click on the bell. I know everyone says that now on YouTube, but it really is important, because I check the analytics for this channel, and pretty much the majority of my subscribers have not clicked that bell. I think there's about 300 people that have clicked the bell, and the reason for that is you click the bell, it gives you all notifications, and you have a choice. You can choose how many times you want to be notified, but if you just click all, every single time I upload a video, you will see it. And that way, if you just skip a video because you're not interested in watching it, or in the past when I've taken breaks, it may not notify you. So just click on the bell once you've hit the subscribe button, and Bob's your uncle. Right, okay, so let's crack on, and we'll do the Xbox first, get the Xbox collection, because that's growing nicely there, as you can see. That is my main aim at this moment in time, to build up a big Xbox collection. It will be quite big. I've got 100 games on my list, and I ended up picking up a game yesterday, which isn't on the list. I thought it was, but it wasn't. Turns out I've never played it, so we'll talk about that when we get to it. First up, classic launch day title. Weirdly didn't have it already. Unfortunately, I hadn't come across a copy yet, which is odd because you'd think you'd see it everywhere. But it is Halo Combat Evolved. Now I do have Halo 2 sitting over there on the shelf. This is obviously a classic. I think, you know, pretty much everybody knows what Halo is. It's a sci-fi first-person shooter starring Master Chief. I mean, he's world famous now. It's a great game. It still stands the test of time to me. Obviously, you can get the version on the 360 and the Xbox One, which is updated and nicer, better graphics. But I still like the original. It's still nice to play it on the original Xbox, and, you know, relive those memories of day one when I got mine at launch in 2001. And that opening sequence where you're on the ship, can't beat that. And then when you land in the pod and you walk out on the planet and you see the ring, the Halo ring, and the sun, and the ship flies over the top, and you've got Cortana talking to you, and you're looking down at the grass because it's 2001. These graphics are phenomenal. You turn on your flashlight or your torch and you look down and there's real blades of grass beneath your feet. That was a great moment, yeah. Loved it back then. It's a great game. I still think nowadays, compared to all the FPS we've had, it can feel a little laboured in parts. It feels like some of the levels are just too big and they're just going on for far too long, and it could have done with shortening a little bit, but I still love the game. I still have a lot of fun playing through it. I've not actually managed to get through the whole game for many years now. I don't remember the last time I played. It's been a long time since I played through it fully, but I always dabble and jump in and play a few levels and that. The worst one for me is still the Flood. I hate the Flood. I remember getting there with my mate. We used to play like tagged 2-player mode, split screen. That was a nightmare, the Flood. I hated the Flood. But Halo's brilliant, so I'm really glad to have that. So I've got Halo, I've got Halo 2. I just need to get the multi-pack if I ever see it, which I don't know if I will see. If I do, I'll pick it up, providing it's cheap, because I don't need it. It's not essential. It's more of a collector thing. It's just, I know what I just said about being a collector, but you know, if it's a couple of quid, why not? I think you get Halo 1, Halo 2, and the multiplayer maps and things, which is obviously irrelevant now. I saw weirdly, what triggered me was I saw a picture on Instagram earlier today where someone had picked it up, and I thought, oh yeah, I forgot about that. So if I see that in the sleeve, I'll grab that. It'll probably be expensive, but hey. Right, next game, another first-person shooter, classic, great game on the Xbox, one of my favourites, and that is Pariah. So I remember playing this when it first came out, another science fiction first-person shooter, really cinematic as well, like Halo. It's got a great intro, cool characters, beautiful graphics, you know, really nice lighting. It is the Xbox, it's got all that extra power in the system, so you know, it's essentially a PC in a box, isn't it? But you know, in terms of 2001 PCs. Yeah, I really like Pariah. I mean, it's great. There's not much to say other than it's a really fun game. If you've never played it, definitely give it a try. It can get quite tough as you go through the game, but it'll definitely grab you and pull you in. And I played it earlier just to test all these games and make sure they worked, and I was immediately sucked in. It was literally one of those, I'm going to test this game. Half an hour later, you're still there. But yeah, cracking game for you. I love it. Next one, I think I owned this when I had a collection years back, but I'm not certain. And if I did, I didn't play it, so I'm looking forward to trying this out. And it is Delta Force Black Hawk Down. I've just realised that I lied at the beginning of the video. I said I picked up one game that wasn't on the list. I picked up two, because that's another one that was not on the list, which I thought was. It's a first-person shooter based on this event in Somalia back in 93, was it? I think 93. Hang on, let's have a look. Yeah, 1993 in the fall, when obviously the Black Hawk crashed in Somalia, and it was pretty tragic. So I'm really looking forward to trying that. You know, good first-person shooter. I tried it earlier to test it, as I say I have with all these games, and I went through the training mission at the beginning, which is basically just you're on a helicopter, use a big gun, learn how to crouch and to prone and shoot targets and all the usual bullshit they put you through. But it controls well, feels alright, feels nice. So it'll be interesting to see what it's like when I actually play the missions and progress through the game. Because on the back of the box, the graphics look really nice. You know, it's like touting. What's it say on the back? It's touting itself on it. The most intense modern warfare experience on Xbox and Xbox Live. Well, we shall see, but the graphics look bloody great, and it looked nice when I played it. So I need to see a full level really. Then I should get more graphics in, because the training level's pretty barren. Right, last game for the Xbox that I picked up. It's getting quite warm again, so I need to keep hydrated. Right, last game for the Xbox is the one I was on about that I picked up, the other one that was not on the list. I thought it was on the list, but then when I looked at it, I thought, I don't actually know if I've ever played it. I don't even know if I've ever owned it. There might be a video where I picked it up, I don't know, but I know I've definitely not played it until today. And that game is called Crash. Now, if you've never played this and you don't know what it is, you're like me. So I tried it this morning, and basically it's Destruction Derby. If you played it on the PlayStation, it's just a really nice looking Destruction Derby game in a big arena, loads of cars, and you're just smashing into each other. And from what I can gather, the more damage you do, you knock out the cars and you increase your position. So I did really crap. I come like 5th or 6th, I got destroyed. But it's cool, you've got a boost button as well, so you can go super fast. So you can take a nice long one up and you can just go bang and T-bone somebody. Looks pretty good, nice graphics, solid controls, which is always a contention for me when playing car games. The controls have to be good, because there's nothing worse than playing a car game and the controls are shite. But yeah, really nice little game, so very glad to have that. Only cost me £1 as well. Technically didn't cost me sod all because it was in the credit, but Right, onto the PS2. Now I've got 3 games. I got one from Cash Generator, and I picked up another 2 from CEX, which is pretty good. terms of PlayStation 2, I know sod all about the audience. I know sod all about the library of PlayStation 2 games, other than some of the really obvious, well-known, higher profile games. So I'm only going for exclusives. I've got a small list of exclusives, about 50, was it 50, 60, 70, something like that. I might be up to 70 now, I'm not too sure, because I find new games all the time to add to the list. But I've got a nice little tightish list of PlayStation 2 exclusives I want. Now, aside from the games that I love, like Smuggler's Run, Tekken Tag, Time Splitters, the Time Crisis games, I don't know a whole lot about exclusives on the system. And I've learned quite a lot actually putting this list together, because I've been checking out footage on YouTube every time I find new games. And I found some absolutely great ones. So, what I did, I was looking through the stack in CEX, and I came across two games, one that I was aware of, one that I thought to myself, is that on my list? I'm sure that's on my list, and luckily it was. But first up is the game from Cash Gen, which I have played before, and that is Red Faction 2. Unfortunately, I didn't have the first game, but I got a second one. Graphics quite nice, and this is the one where Jason Statham is your buddy. He plays a soldier that runs alongside you, which is great. I love Jason Statham as an actor, so it's really cool having him talk to you as you're going around blasting people. And this is a really cool game, Red Faction games, because they're destructible environment games. So when you start the first level, I wasn't sure what I got to do at first, and he kept saying to me, you got to shoot the guys in the towers. And I thought, well, how do we get to the guys in the towers? They're behind the wall. So what you do is you just get your grenade launcher on your gun, and you just blow a bloody big hole in the wall, jump through the wall, and start blasting people. It's really cool. And then obviously, once you've done that, you have to knock out some power generators. Jason Statham blows up the door for you, and away you go and start the game. It looks really cool. Sounds good. You know, I mean, I'll be honest with you. If you're gonna play first-person shooters, obviously, if they're not exclusive graphically, you always buy on the Xbox, because the Xbox has got all that horsepower and they look and sound fantastic. But the PlayStation 2 has got some really nice exclusive first-person shooters as well. And the next one is a game I'm going to show you. Which next game I'm going to show you is one of them. Is what I meant to say. So I saw this. This is out of a series of games across the PlayStation 2. In fact, the PlayStation 2, sorry. PlayStation 3 and the PlayStation 4. This is the only one I actually like, and that is Guerrilla's Killzone. So yeah, I'm not a fan of Killzone 2, mainly because I can't play it, literally can't play it because the controls are shit. Number 3 is boring as hell. I've got it over there, I've finished it. It's not great. It's an alright game to play through, but the story's bollocks and it's boring. And Shadowfall, I didn't get on with it at all. I got really bored very quickly with that. Gorgeous graphics. Again, all Killzone games from 2 to 4, they just seem to be, although Shadowfall's not number 4, is it? But you know what I mean. Those 3 games, it's style over substance, lovely graphics, beautiful visuals. Not much of a game to play, not much of a story that I care about. But the first Killzone is actually pretty decent. I remember really enjoying it when I first played it years ago. And I put it on today, tried it out, and I was expecting the game to look shit, because I thought, oh, it's a really old game, it's on the PS2, the graphics are going to look ropey, the environments are going to look weak, it's not going to be a good looking game. Turns out, the bloody thing's got an NTSC mode, it's got a widescreen mode, and it's got Dolby Pro Logic 2 built into it, so they really went to town with it. So, kudos to Guerrilla. And I'll be honest, I put it on the CRT, it looks really good, it really holds up nicely, it's got really good controls, like modern FPS controls, it's even got a run option. I mean, you know, that don't happen very often back in that generation. So yeah, you can run, it's got gorgeous graphics, the guns look great, the Hellgas look great, they've still got the silly voices. Yeah, I was very impressed. I've only played the initial opening sequence, but I'm very much looking forward to getting stuck into it. If I ever get a sodding memory card, because I ordered one over a week ago now, what's the date today? I don't know, it was about 10 or 11 days ago I ordered this sodding memory card. £3 off eBay. Still hasn't arrived. The guy claims he sent 2 of them to me now and they still haven't come, so I don't know what's going on. I've got a case raised anyway, which is a pain in the arse. I hate doing that, but you know, it's either that or don't get it sorted out. So when I eventually do get a memory card or 2, I'll start playing these games, because I've got all these PS2 games and I can't progress them, I can't play them properly. God bless the Xbox with its hard drive. I did look into the PlayStation 2 hard drive, and apparently it doesn't substitute the memory cards, it only works with certain games and gives you features and things. It doesn't act as a memory card, which is dumb as shit. I don't know what Sony were thinking. Anyway, Killzone, gorgeous, and the condition of the case is fantastic. And the last game I picked up for PlayStation 2 is the one I say, I was looking through the shelving, going through the shelves of games in CX, and just at the corner of my eye, as I was going through them below, because they're all in alphabetical order, I went, that's on my list, I'm sure that's on my list. Quickly whipped my phone out, which is what I tend to do a lot with the PlayStation 2 stuff, and sure enough, it was on my list. So I grabbed it, and I'm glad I did, because I played it today, it's great. It's called Shocks Rally Reinvented. So it's an arcade rally game basically. Really nice cover. I don't know if it's only a car, but I really like the colours and everything on the cover. I think it looks great, and the big logo for Shocks. The only thing I found odd, the car doesn't move very fast. And I'm not too sure because I know PlayStation 2 had all these gimmicks like the Emotion Engine. And I remember vividly, and I might be wrong on this, but I've got this memory of having a stupid idea that the buttons on the DualShock 2 were pressure sensitive, so you could press it harder to go faster and or hit harder and things like that. I don't know if that's a bullshit marketing thing, I'm assuming it probably was. But it feels like the cars don't go anywhere and I'm pushing the buttons and I'm like, what's going on? So I'm going to have to read the instructions to find out what I'm doing wrong. Because also as I'm racing around the track, this thing called Shocks appears on the screen. And it's like a bar, and it basically moves up and down. And I was getting silver and bronze, and I was pressing all the buttons trying to figure out if I'm supposed to trigger something. Is it a boost? Am I supposed to slipstream? What am I supposed to do? I couldn't work it out. So I will read the instruction manual for the first time in my entire life of gaming and figure out what the bloody hell I'm doing wrong, because I want to play it properly. But I think besides that, it plays great. It's got really nice tight controls, gorgeous graphics, great sound. So yeah, if you've not played Shocks like me, give it a shot. Especially if you're an Xbox guy like me and you're just trying to learn about PlayStation 2, it's a cracker. Though at this point, I think most people probably know more than I do anyway. But anyway, that's Shocks. And then I've got some PS3 titles, because I'm always adding to the PS3. There isn't a lot that I need. I've got a small list of games that I need to add to the PS2 and PS3 side. A couple I missed out on yesterday were Medal of Honor Airborne. They had a copy, but it was in pretty rough shape. They had Infamous and Infamous 2. I think it was, yeah, Infamous was in great shape. Infamous 2 was in shit shape. And I was like, oh, damn it, because I wanted all three of them. So I just left them. I'll just get them another time. I really want to play Airborne again. I'm really pissed off over that. But you know, we'll get it eventually. They always come up at some point. I've got 2 different CEX to try out, so hey. So I grabbed 3 games. I grabbed Soon Metal's just committed suicide, well done. Just put a back end on. Come on, you dopey cow, stand up. No. Okay, she ain't gonna stand up, or just lean her against the wall. Right, okay, so I picked up 2 cheap ones and out of a series of games, and I picked up one that was a little bit more expensive, but I thought I'm going to use the credit on that because it's a game I love and I wanted it because it's in good nick and it's got all the bits and bobs in the box. So the first one I got is I think it's 2007, not certain, but the Prince of Persia game, the cel shaded game with Nolan North, Nathan Drake doing the voice. Yes, I'll be honest, my dad had that back when he had a PlayStation 3. I never thought the game was that great. I love Prince of Persia games. It played alright, but I never really got on with the cel shaded look of it. But over the years, I've sort of looked back at it and thought, it's not that bad actually. I was watching the video, I mentioned a few videos ago now, a channel called Gamers, but they did a whole video about the Prince of Persia series. And I looked at that one on that video and I thought, you know what, I might actually pick that up because it looks decent. I think it was like a quid or 150, so I thought, well, I'll use that credit, why not? So I'll give that another play, it might be decent. I can't do footage for these games, by the way. Unfortunately, I don't have any way of capturing HDMI, which sucks, but maybe one day. Next one I got is a game I love on the PlayStation 3, and I played this when it came out, and I absolutely adored it. And it is Prince of Persia: The Forgotten Sands. This is great. This is a more traditional Prince of Persia action game. Gorgeous graphics, great soundtrack, really fun storyline. It does get a bit stressed with the controls because you end up by the end of the game having to use every single button on the controller. And you have to like jump from wall to wall and you have to freeze time and shit, and it gets really awkward and frustrating. And I remember getting right to the end of the game, and the last part of the game, literally just losing my shit and just going bang with the controller, and the controller bounced, this is in my old house, it bounced off the sofa, went flying across the living room and hit the floor, and I was like, oh shit. And I had laminate flooring at the time, so it hit pretty hard, and I was like, not wise, if you've got carpet, you're alright, don't do it with laminate. But yeah, Prince of Persia: Forgotten Sands, brilliant game. There is a gameplay that I did back in the day on my channel. Quality is not the greatest, but if you want to check it out, have a look. And the last game today, guys, is for the PlayStation 3 again. This one is a fantastic title. I absolutely love this, and I had to grab it, as I say, because it was in great shape. They had 3 copies of this, one without the manual, one with the manual in terrible condition, and this one with the manual, the map, and the downloadable content sheet, which is irrelevant, but nonetheless it's nice. And it is Mafia 2. I love this game. I remember playing this when it first came out, and I absolutely fell in love with it. Played it all the way through. The storyline was fantastic. Vito was an awesome character, and what happened at the end was really quite sad. But yeah, really like Mafia 2. And I like the fact that when Mafia 3 came out, they brought Vito in as an underboss for Lincoln Clay, which I've also got that over on the PS4. I've played that many times. That's a brilliant game. So yeah, I don't like Mafia on the Xbox and PS2, the first game. I've tried playing it. the controls on the cars are wonky. I don't know, I can't really get into it at all. But Mafia 2 and Mafia 3 are two fantastic games. So hopefully one day we might get a Mafia 4, which would be bloody brilliant on the next generation if that happens. But yeah, great. So there you go, some more PS3. As I say, just pick them up when I can, add to the collection. The main focus right now for me is, of course, PS2 and Xbox, especially Xbox. I want to boost that. I haven't bought any PS1 games for a while. Just get them when I can. You know, those are hit and miss. Some are cheap, some aren't. I don't really see them in the wild, so you know, unless I get lucky at a car boot, which is unlikely. The majority of the time, the only shop I go to that has them is Insane Games, and they just charge normal prices. So might as well buy them on eBay. Right guys, there you go. So thanks for watching. Really do appreciate it. You know, really appreciated you watching all these new videos I've been putting up, and it's been great to come back and do this YouTube thing, because you know, I went away for a while. I had a bit of a moment where I just really just burnt myself out, I think, really, plus life and stuff. So it's been really nice to get such good feedback lately with the comments as well on these videos. So thank you for people who are watching these videos, people who are liking them, you know, thumbing them up, and especially to people who leave comments, because I love the interaction. And it's nice to see comments about the editing as well, and to know that people like the style of video that I'm making while doing these pickups, because I love making pickup videos and I love watching pickup videos. I know there's always been discussion in the community over the years, are pickup videos outdated, are they done? Not for me. As a viewer, I love watching people picking up games. I enjoy the thrill of seeing what they've managed to find out in the charity shops, the car boots, the CEX, you know, the cash converters and generators. It's just a fun, interesting video to watch, and you get to hear people's stories and their love for certain games, and you get to see them find games they've never played and the excitement of trying something new like Shocks. So there you go. Thanks guys, hope you've enjoyed the video. Leave your comments down below. Look forward to reading them, and I'll see you in the next video.